Hi, my name is Coldbear and let's start with Shadows Awakening. Here you can walk between worlds, and in every realm new unique challenges will await. In the Shadow Realm you will slay various spirits and demons, and in the real world, well, you know, as usual, spiders, snakes and maybe even evil koalas. All the stuff from the National Geographic Channel. This concept is really cool. I had a lot of fun playing this game. People on Steam are saying that Shadows Awakening is quite okayish if you compare it with the best Diablo-like action RPG games. Not a masterpiece by any means, but a nice game if you are tired from Grim Dawn or Path of Exile and you just want to spend a few hours in a different world slaying various different animals. Also, Diablo 4 is around the corner, so this may be a good chance to warm up your isometric action RPG skills before the big release. The Falconeer. This story-rich action RPG game was created by one man. Sometimes it's really hard to believe how talented some of us are. You know, on Steam there are hundreds of games created by dudes who can code but have no idea what design or good writing is. Steam is becoming a trash container where I have to dig through the garbage to find really good games like the Falconeer for you. And I can assure you that this game is underrated. It has less than 200 reviews on Steam, with the result being very positive. So here you take on the role of Falconeer, a powerful warrior traversing a vast oceanic world torn apart by generations of poisonous decisions and dissent. Throughout multiple campaigns, you will experience life from many different perspectives and loyalties as you embark on a journey of discovery and solve the biggest mystery. Most people on Steam are talking that they had a lot of fun with this game, and a recent update made it possible to play it in VR mode as well. So if you have no problems with seasickness, this may be a great choice for you. Mutant Year Zero: Road to Eden. This is a tactical game that combines the turn-based combat of XCOM with real-time stealth and exploration of post-human world reclaimed by nature and mutants. And by saying mutants, I don't mean human mutants. Those are all gone. Now smart animals rule the world.
Define smart.
Well, you got me here. They are not always smart. They sometimes do stupid decisions because, you know, you are controlling them.
Oh my god, how dare you!
So although animals can speak here, it's definitely not a Disney kind of world. It's brutal and cruel, and survival of the fittest is in progress. Here you must venture out of the city to explore the zone where one day you might find the Eden of legends, the ancients' heaven in the middle of hell. I guess with mountains of potato salad and rivers of cold beer. Maybe you will find your answers there. Then again, maybe not. Game has really beautiful graphics, great humor and an interesting story. Also very positive reviews on Steam. By the way, you may be interested in the new game by the same developers called Miasma Chronicles. It will be released someday this year. Check it out. Deep Sky Derelicts. It is an original combination of turn-based strategy and RPG enriched with tactical card combat and roguelike elements. Here you'll explore derelict alien ships, fight, loot and upgrade your gear, and all that is presented in a distinctive retro-futuristic comic book aesthetic style. I think that the comic style of the game is absolutely awesome, and as a fan of horror sci-fi comics, I melted in my place like a snowman in between hot boobies. People on Steam are saying that this is a really decent dungeon crawler with incredibly cool combat style. The game will take about 20 hours to beat, so it can be a nice investment into your upcoming leisure time. Gears Tactics. The game easily stands in one line with XCOM titles in a sense of quality and provided entertainment. Great graphics, cinematics and really interesting encounters had me pinned on my chair for hours and hours. Usually when I install turn-based games I get bored really quickly, either because the game seems too simple, too boring or just too hard. But for me, Gears Tactics is in the perfect Goldilocks zone in terms of difficulty and fun, and it kept my interest alive for hours. I can assure you that the quality of this game is as high as possible, but I have to stress out that I am a casual player. I don't like very difficult games, so if you are a true professional of turn-based titles, it may not be for you. But on the other hand, I could even recommend this game for people who have never played any turn-based games. Gears Tactics may become a gateway drug for you. You know, like potato salad can become a gateway to the world of other salads. Oh yeah, I know a lot of recipes. We'll definitely share them on my Adventures channel one day. Anyway, for me this game rocks and rolls and is great in general, like the best Dr. Sausage in the juiciest potato salad.
Fight Grab.
Mortal Kombat is for the weak. If you want to become a really strong and respectful warrior, there is another way better game for that. You may think that I am joking, but
Fight Grab
has 93% of positive reviews, so it's officially better than most fighting games ever released. You will take control of a simulated physics-powered grab and fight various opponents with one basic rule: flip your enemy over to win. Take advantage of a wide range of equipment to beat your opponent down. Claws, swords, guns, armor, jet engines and more. Maybe a dildo, I don't know. And you have to stop your opponent's blade with your pincers, run along walls and generally go full-on grab with all the fighting techniques at your disposal. This game is just like you always wanted fight games to be, but probably never realized.
Fight Grab.
Will end that ravenous fighting game hunger you were feeling for years.
Or maybe not, I don't know, maybe you are just a monkey on a branch in the zoo and you just like how my channel sounds.
Vanishing of Ethan Carter. The game surprised me by not having any UI, no information bar or anything like that. And that's a good thing because it doesn't need one anyway. The Vanishing of Ethan Carter is very detailed and the praise this game received for its graphics is very much deserved. You may call the game a walking simulator, but it's more like a detective story that you have to unfold by, walking around. Here you'll slowly reveal clues that allow you to piece the events of this Lovecraftian mystery together. Yeah, the game may sometimes be really creepy, but that adds to the immersion. Main story is constructed from several smaller stories, and once you collect all the clues, the game rewards you with an interesting and unexpected conclusion. Like really, if you are expecting some simple murder mystery here, it's nothing like that. So basically, if you like slow-paced, beautiful games with the ability to surprise you, this is one of the best choices you can make. Curse of the Dead Gods. This game is obviously oriented for the fans of Hades, or as one commentator on Steam said, Curse of the Dead Gods plays as Hades and looks like Darkest Dungeon. Honestly, it's a fair comparison. So in this game you will seek untold riches, eternal life and divine powers. It will lead you to this accursed temple, a seemingly infinite labyrinth of bottomless pits, deadly traps and monsters. Well, the rest is self-explanatory. The game also introduces a cool mechanic of unique curses. They influence each attempt, putting a twist on every action. Although keep one thing in mind, you will have to parry a lot, and that Souls-like mechanic sometimes is very annoying. Otherwise, it's a great game. 86% of reviews on Steam are positive. Wingspan. Let me start with the fact that this game has an overwhelmingly positive review score on Steam. Yeah, so you won't skip thinking that this is some lame card game. Well, it is a card game, but as far from lame as you are, from lame. Yeah, you are cool, man, never doubt that. Now subscribe. So here you are, a bird enthusiast, researcher, bird watcher, ornithologist and collector seeking to discover and attract the best birds to your network of wildlife preserves. Well, if you want some wisdom, I can reveal which bird is the best. It's the one who tastes the best. Anyway, here each bird extends a chain of powerful combinations in one of your habitats, and each habitat focuses on a key aspect of the growth of your preserves and so on. The game is meant to be played from 1 to 5 people, so if you have some nerdy friends, tell them something nice and convince them to play this game together. If not, there is always a mother-in-law who can help. If not yours, then somebody else's. World is filled with them. Overland. This is a survival strategy game which takes place in a not-so-distant future where a cataclysm completely devastated the North American continent. You will lead a constantly changing group of survivors who, traveling by car, are trying to reach their destination point, and survival plays a crucial role in the game. You will be forced to make difficult decisions and face constant shortages of gas, supplies and ammo. However, the biggest threat you will have to face are the monsters using hearing to hunt down their prey. In other words, they hunt you. Also, you will have to save dogs here. There are a lot of dogs in this game. 8-bit Invaders. Remember all the Lovecraftian movies where bodies are merging with each other? You know, like The Thing, The Fly or Annihilation with Natalie Portman. So if StarCraft and Minecraft were protagonists in such a Lovecraftian movie, 8-bit Invaders would be their merging result. See, you can always think of something better than just a cliché about
If StarCraft and Minecraft had a baby.
So this is a fast-paced RTS, a very colorful strategy arcade game that it's easy to learn for players of all skill levels. Collect resources, build up and defend your base, amass your army of tanks and starships, and ultimately crush humans with your metal tentacles, or show aliens who's the boss here. You will find 24 campaign missions, 10 co-op missions to play with your mother-in-law, destructible environments, and you know who the composer is? Frank Klepacki, the same dude who created music for Command & Conquer 27 years ago, when he was 17. Yeah, I will keep repeating this fact. And if you feel that this 8-bit setting is appealing to you, keep in mind that you can also find 2 more games, 8-bit armies that are made with the fans of Command & Conquer in mind, and 8-bit hordes that can be appealing to Warcraft fans. Astroneer. Game is set during the 25th century intergalactic age of discovery. Here, astroneers explore the frontiers of outer space, risking their lives in harsh environments to unearth rare discoveries and unlock the mysteries of the universe itself. In this space sandbox adventure, you can work together with other players to build custom bases above or below the ground, create vehicles to explore a vast solar system, and use terrain to create anything you can imagine. So basically, you are invading beautiful planets with beautiful nature and making an industrial hell out of them. Yeah, screw nature, the galaxy is full of it. People on Steam are saying that here you are your own worst enemy. You will fall off the cliffs, touch deadly plants, and forget something at your base that is half a galaxy away. Yeah, anyway, very positive reviews are here for a reason. Almost everyone loves the game, and there is a huge chance that you will love it as well. The final station. The world is over. Yes, finito, basta, pabaiga, el fin, lopu. But it's not quite over for you. At least, not yet. And now that you have a massive locomotive at your disposal, you have the definite advantage over the infected zombie hordes. You will embark on a post-apocalyptic adventure and travel a dying world on a train through 5 chapters, with large inhabited stations at the end of each one. And zombies are ready to stop your progress whenever you exit the train to look for supplies. You also have to maintain your train in operating condition and craft valuable items from resources you scavenge. Just don't expect to shoot your way through hordes of infected. Supplies are limited and every bullet is the most important one. Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice. Bound to protect a young lord who is a descendant of an ancient bloodline, you become the target of many vicious enemies. When the young lord is captured, nothing will stop you on a perilous quest to regain your honor. Well, except death. Death will stop you many times. Keep in mind that Sekiro is the creation of the same developers as the Souls games, and it's meant for people with masochistic tendencies. If you hate yourself, this game is for you. Although I have one piece of advice on how to easily beat this game. It's very simple. Stop being a noob and get good. Darkwood. This is a survival horror from a top-down perspective that is quite terrifying to play. Well, at first you may think,
What is so terrifying in this? I can barely see things, they are so small.
you know what else is small? Of course you know, but don't worry, I can keep a secret. Or can I? Subscribe, let's be friends with benefits. This way all your secrets will be safe with me. This game is all about immersion, and it will drag you in so hard you won't be able to escape. And also it will grow some balls on your hair, and maybe even on your eyebrows. Yeah, you heard right. By day you explore the randomly generated ever sinister woods, scavenge for materials, craft weapons, and discover new secrets. And by night you find shelter, barricade yourself inside abandoned buildings, set up traps, and hide or defend yourself from the horrors of the Darkwood. Wasteland 3 Colorado Collection. I will say bluntly, if you like tactical turn-based games, this RPG here is a must-play. It's not a recommendation or something, but the law. You must play it if you want to go, you know, to game hell after your death. Anyway, this version of the game includes both the Battle of Steeltown and Cult of the Holy Detonation expansions, as well as the Colorado Survival Gear bonus items. And the game itself is a wonderful gem for all Fallout, Baldur's Gate, and all turn-based combat fans. In Wasteland 3, you will travel to the frozen wastes of Colorado to deal with gangs, cults, and psychopathic clowns in effort to bring stability to the wastes. Or, you know, as always, even more chaos and even more psychopathic clowns. Yeah, not like in real life, your decisions really matter and the world will change according to your actions and reactions. Dragon's Dogma: Dark Arisen. This is a massive, challenging action RPG that drops you into a vast open world full of different creatures and characters. The game was a bit underrated when it initially came out, but over the years Dragon's Dogma regained its glory. I've heard that the second part is in the works as well, but the release date is rumored to be only in the year of 2025. Dragon's Dogma shares its open nature with the games like Horizon and Witcher 3, but has more strategy and more dynamic fights. It's a tougher game in general, but if you like to explore the open world and love fantasy games, you will probably like this game as well. Gamers are talking that this is an underrated gem that is a must-play for every open world RPG fan. Orcs Must Die 3. This is probably the most entertaining tower defense game I have ever played, and I don't have specifically the third part in mind. The whole franchise will erase your boredom like your ex erased you from her life without a trace. So anyway, here you will be killing orcs, wave after wave after wave, and you will do that not only with various traps and turrets, but personally as well. You can play solo or two-player co-op, arm yourself with a massive arsenal of weapons and slice, burn and zap hordes of repugnant orcs. The game is incredibly fun, and at first it seems easy. Oh, but all this is just a deception. Later games will turn into incredibly hard try again and again battles. One misplaced trap, one missed shot, and you are dead. If you have a weaker PC or just saving money, you can buy the second or even the first part of the franchise and have a great time as well. Dyson's Fair Program. A new kind of supercomputer has been developed, a machine whose superior artificial intelligence and computing capability will push humanity even further. I guess they built it so they could finally invent vodka without a hangover. Huge computing power is required for a task like that, that's for sure. Only one problem stands in the way. There's not enough energy in the whole planet to feed this machine, so you need to construct the Dyson Sphere, the thing that engulfs the star itself and sucks all of its energy. Totally accurate battle simulator. If you are just bored and want to kill some time in single player without thinking too much, I doubt there is a better game for that than Totally Accurate Battle Simulator. At first, it's really funny. Second, it challenges your IQ and actual tactical skills. All you need to do is to choose your units, place them strategically and press the fight button. They will do all the battling part by themselves and you will observe it like some overarching god who has no power to influence anything anymore. So when your army is ripped apart and its scattered remains lie on the ground, then you may think of another strategy and try again, and then again. Some of the battles in the campaign are crazy hard and it will squeeze your IQ through your nostrils. Also, if you have some doubts, the game has about 100,000 reviews left on Steam and the score is really close to 100%. I'm not kidding, it's probably one of the best rated games on the whole Steam. Book of Demons. It is a surprisingly good game, ignored by many just because of how it looks. It has great lighting effects, but those paper figures are definitely not for everyone. Anyway, here you can decide the length of the quests, wield magic arts instead of weapons and slay armies of darkness in the dungeon below the old cathedral. Yeah, I bet you heard that somewhere. People on Steam are talking that Book of Demons has great replayability with a variety of combinations, interesting art direction, and fast, non-boring gameplay. Although some are saying that the game can become a bit monotonous, but I'm pretty sure that it can happen because of the skills and spells you use. If your build is not fun enough, you will get not enough fun. Simple, right? So Google some nice builds before you play. Let there be a bit of Book of Demons among big boobed MILFs in your search history. Anyway, the game has 91% of positive reviews and it's kinda cheap. Crossfire Legion. Here you lead your customized army to failure. Well, or to victory, which is less likely on the proving grounds of a not-too-distant futuristic world consumed by corporate conflict. Here you'll also find a nice campaign where you will fight in various terrains from atop of skyscrapers to marshy wet regions that will remind you of your ex, or infiltrate heavily defended military bases as you get to know the main characters and goals of all three rival nations. Multiplayer is also implemented so you can climb leaderboards or most likely never ever see your name even close to the top, or probably at all. You can also team up with your friend in co-op maps and defend together, or show your adversaries who's the boss. Probably not you. People on Steam are saying that Crossfire Legion has StarCraft-style gameplay within Command & Conquer general-style setting, which is great. The downside of it is that you will need an internet connection even for a single-player campaign. Also, it lacks map variety and some other features, but keep in mind that the game is constantly updated and it's new and complaining is not what we do. More RTS like StarCraft is better than less. Let's not discourage creators with our overwhelming whining. Hotline Miami. A game where you shoot things while listening to amazing music. What could be better? Well, probably a lot of things, but let's not dive into our fantasies about a bowl of refreshing potato salad or, things that we cannot afford. But you know what is the thing almost everyone can afford? Come on, don't say anything about my sister. I mean, everyone can afford this game, or to become my supporter on Patreon, or here on YouTube. Alright, I know, that was a nice try. Anyway, Hotline Miami wouldn't be this good if not for the music. The atmosphere it creates along with the carnage on the screen is the best kind of symbiosis I have ever seen. Although be ready to press R to restart, over and over again. So keep in mind that it is hard, harder than you can imagine.
That's what she said.
Kingdom Come Deliverance Royal Edition. This version includes the base game and all the DLC, so if you never play the game, it's the best version you can get. And the Kingdom Come itself is basically a realistic Skyrim set in medieval Europe. It has a great story, interesting missions, and a really beautiful world set in an ancient part of nowadays Czech Republic. So grab your wooden sword and show everyone how to fight. Well, I'll be honest, the game is terribly hard at the beginning. A simple, drunken, homeless dude will destroy your dignity at ease. The learning curve is not friendly at all, and in general, the harsh reality of level 1 villager that decided to become a warrior is not very pleasant. Imagine yourself being level 1 at anything. That is not nice. Imagine if you suddenly had the eating skills of a toddler or had to ride a bike for the first time. So that is how you will feel in this game. Well, at the beginning at least. Later you will own the place and everyone will bow before your feet. Or not. Probably not. Risk of Rain 2. Everyone who played Risk of Rain 2 can agree on one thing. It plays way better than it looks, meaning that everything you are seeing now to you looks like a graphic gibberish of some sort, but if you take control of the hero, everything changes immediately. The game has 96% of positive reviews left by hundreds of thousands of players who bought the game. You can't argue with that. So here you'll fight your way to the final boss and escape, or continue your run indefinitely to see how long you can survive. A unique scaling system means that both you and your foes limitlessly increase in power over the course of the game. People on Steam are talking that Risk of Rain 2 is a bit unfriendly for new players. It will take time for you to adapt, so be prepared for that. It won't guide you by your hand or penis. Spellforce 3 Fallen God. Well, most strategy and RPG fans know Spellforce games, but it seems that this one is somehow forgotten, and it is a beautiful game. It is an absolutely standalone title. You don't need to play or even know anything about Spellforce at all to enjoy it. The stories are absolutely separated, just like you and your ex right now. I would say that Fallen God is a hybrid between Warcraft 3 and party-based real-time RPGs. You will be traveling around extremely huge maps with your heroes, and from time to time you will have to build a base and attack unsuspecting enemies, pillage their puny villages and eat their children. Well, maybe not the latter, but who knows, some of your heroes look pretty ravenous to be honest. Starbound. This is basically a Terraria in space where you create your own story. There is no wrong way to play. You can go and save the universe from the forces that destroyed your home, uncovering greater galactic mysteries in the process. Or you may wish to ignore this heroic journey entirely in favor of colonizing uncharted planets, collecting rare creatures, or delve into dangerous dungeons and lay claim to otherworldly treasures. Discover ancient temples and modern cities, trees with eyes, mischievous penguins, and talking ding-dongs. Well, you'll be first to find those, but you never know. The universe is endless. Yonder, the Cloudcatcher Chronicles. This title can be really entertaining for those who like farming and crafting games like Stardew Valley, My Time at Portia, and similar ones. Although it's not on the same level of quality, it's way shorter and smaller than those aforementioned, but it's really cute and interesting. If you have a hunger for games like that, it may be a good choice. Yonder is a relaxing open-world adventure set in a natural island paradise with 8 distinct environments ranging from tropical beaches to snow-capped summits. But this land is not as perfect as it seems. The mysterious Murg has taken hold of a land, so your task is to
remove it.
Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition. This game reminds me of Witcher, but for a younger or, less brutal audience, because it has somewhat similar battle mechanics, open world full of monsters, many dialogues, third-person view, and so on. But here you will not find any gore, twisted creepy quests, splattering blood fountains, or any nudity. Redhead will never show what she's hiding. Here you will get no love affairs, no hot scenes by the waterfall, just robot dinosaurs and indigenous people. I played about 30 hours of this game a few years ago on my PlayStation. I had a great time, but I never finished it it because I encountered a difficulty spike and I couldn't play anymore without loading a save game that was an hour ago. And I had no intention to do that, so be careful of the places named the Cauldron. Make sure your character level is appropriate before entering inside. Stoneshard. I was recommended this game by one of my Patreon supporters, and since then I keep an eye on it. The game is still in early access, but it has a great potential. Stoneshard is a turn-based RPG set in an open world where you can create your own character without any limitations. Well, that is what developers say. I'm pretty much sure that you can't create beer or vodka bender here. Or can you? The game is set in a grim environment. Villages lie in ruins, dungeons are infested with monsters, and old roads are all abandoned. Although Stoneshard presents many opportunities, you can fulfill contracts, hunt for treasure, trade in a variety of goods, and travel the land to earn your fortune. Sadly, it has this terrible moving system, so it's up to you if you can actually handle that. And if you are some kind of masochist, keep in mind that in this game you can choose to play in permadeath mode and die once and for all. Endless Legend. Here you evolve your civilization through discovery and new advanced technologies. You will keep one step ahead of the other 8 civilizations through trade and diplomacy, or eradicate your puny enemies using unit equipment, abilities, and the terrain to overcome your opponents. The game has quite high replayability because of randomly generated worlds and quests. You can set the size, shape, and topography of your new world and even create new civilizations. Also, all existing ones really differ from one another and have authentic mechanics. By the way, Endless Legend is not computer power hungry. It even runs quite smoothly even if you have a potato PC that is below minimum requirements. People on Steam are saying that Endless Legend is a wonderful game with great atmosphere, lore, and mechanics, but it also eats your time in huge amounts, so be sure you have it. In general, if you like grand strategy games and titles like Heroes of Might and Magic, keep in mind that Endless Legend is a proud owner of very positive reviews, and this price is more than nice. The Shore. I have played this game while it was still in development, and I was really impressed by the grand scale of some creatures and entities that roam this Lovecraftian world. And by saying Lovecraftian, I really mean it. You will literally encounter Cthulhu himself. So basically The Shore is a game about the mystery of the unknown set on a forbidden island filled with horrors. Here you'll take control of Andrew, a father searching for his lost daughter, and while doing the searching part you will awaken a cosmic horror or two. Or, 4 or 7, this game is filled with them. Although keep in mind that it is not flawless. It has some bugs, some invisible walls, and terrible combat. Although fighting is not the main aspect of The Shore, that's for sure. Anyway, for this price I can really recommend this game if you like dark stories, Lovecraftian worlds, your mother-in-law, and creepy vibes in general. Also, it has photorealistic graphics and looks amazing. And if you like the Steam Spring Sale video, there is another. Click on it, let's continue our journey, let's be friends with benefits. Thank you for watching, have a nice day, and I'll see you next time.
Bye.